No, I was gonna turn that down.
Oh.
Miles, you crazy. What's going on, y'all? What's, what's going on, y'all? We are back. You are watching the Rocky Road Productions Porch Talk podcast. I can't really. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Episode 43, the Love and Success Edition, with myself, Rocky Road, Diana Big Fella, and Shelby the Great. As viewers, you help make the show great. Please like, share, and comment. You can stream our podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Radio Public, and more. The topic for today's show is are women delusional? Today we have a special
Go not.
guest, Coach Alessandro, the founder of York Fit. He will be addressing fitness exploitation in the black community and the promotion of bad health habits for the people who benefit from it. Now, we're trying to do something new, guys, so we want you to send us your shady and scandalous stories. It can be shady, an entanglement, or the situation could just be shady, outrageous, and scandalous. Email us at rockyrollproductionsllc@gmail.com. You will remain anonymous, and we will read and respond to them on the air. Or you can go to the website rockyrollproductions and go under the tab of contact us, and it will say submit your shady stories. There we go. There we go. Hey, y'all. If you couldn't hear me, you can hear me now. I don't know. Is our guest in yet? All right.
Yeah, yeah. Peace, peace, peace.
What's going on, sir?
How we doing? How we doing?
Doing
Happy to be on the
excellent.
platform.
I'm
Shout
happy
out
you're
to all
here.
the listeners.
Yes,
Thank you for
yes.
having me.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right. So, I know you had some things you wanted to address, which I think are very important when it comes to the stuff that we are ingesting and being exploited as far as fitness. And you can go ahead and go into that for us.
All right. Well, welcome, everyone. First, a little brief introduction. I'm Coach Alessandro with York Fit. We're a private, fitness company. I'm based out here in Orange County, California. So we're on the west side. So just want
Yes.
to Yeah, so we just want to tell everybody, I feel as if I have a unique outlook on fitness as it relates to, let's call us what we are, indigenous people. Some people prefer African Americans, like the minority community, the black and brown folks. So just want to salute everyone that even if you may not have all the resources, you're trying to heal yourself, make better choices, just generally promote anything that's allowing you to be here longer and achieve more. So with that said, I've spent about 10 years of my life in the fitness field. The past 4 years was spent in one specific area, and that was doing pretty much a gym in a like a urban community, you could say. And I feel that specifically has given me a lot of insight into the things we struggle with, a lot of ways that we're being misinformed, and also kind of just I don't want to say an agenda, but it almost does seem like most people that are unhealthy are in the black and brown communities and things of that nature. So yeah, so that is like a brief overview. Um, just to get directly to the point, um, if you think about it, even on an economic level, most of the disposable income or the profits that is made off products, goods, entertainment, it comes from depicting, mostly people of color. There's a big box office draw to that. But with that said, the underside is our communities are very underserved when it comes to nutrition. Nutrition, even within our communities, we're talking about the stores that we're surrounded by, the options we have for food. We're talking about fresh produce, farmers markets, things of this nature are not generally in our communities. So when it comes for us to be choosing better options or to even lead better lives, it gets kind of problematic. Also, if you look at what is passed down to us, it's also problematic there, and we have to kind of examine the positive things with our culture, but also what choices or things we need to do to kind of move forward and kind of promote healthier living amongst our families. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the exploitation part is the one that I guess it resonates the most with me because I feel like we like you put anyone, look at these NFL players, the NBA players, how much like we bring when it comes to a certain type of economy. But when we look at ourselves, are we choosing the best habits? But up to a certain point, when our health starts to decline, it's like we feel as if our lives are over. We're not supposed to thrive and have a greater quality of life even as we age. So, it's not only for the young generation, it kind of stretches through all of us. So, just to get back to the point, the exploitation part is that we bring in so much revenue when it comes to athletic products, fashion, entertainment. But when it comes to our longevity, which is going to promote us being able to kind of have more ownership of things, it's kind of like it's night and day.
Mm-hmm.
So that is to me what the definition of the exploitation is that we're the strongest, but we keep kind of selling ourselves short and kind of investing in things that are not like giving us a long quality and healthy life. In the words of Dr. Sabi, he had a quote that said essentially
Mm-mm, we lost him.
Yeah, he went out.
You went out.
Yep.
about that. Yeah, a healthy body is worth more than any. You don't want to be the wealthiest person in the hospital bed.
Facts.
So
That's true.
that more specific things such as promoting within your own family unit, your own unit of friends, healthy eating. Do we have a fitness program? Do we even have a fitness program that we feel resonates with us and is something that we can respond to, something that excites us? And if you're in an area that does not have this, can you organize a group of people to kind of request that? Can you do your research? Can you stop following what's given to you? And can you really read into these athletes that you feel like take a stand when they don't have to? If you saw recently in the news, I think one of those big international soccer players, he made a very big refusal to have Coca-Cola during his kind of press junket or press interview,
Mm-hmm.
and the stock dropped by a significant amount that they had to report it. And it was a situation where he said, I'd rather promote water.
Hmm.
I think it was
Wow.
Cristiano Ronaldo that was the one that did this.
That's what's up.
And you saw immediately the effect he had on the revenue for that company. So what if one of us stands up and we say, forget about water, like let's stop eating so much like fast foods and things
Processed
like this
foods and
that are
stuff. Yeah.
always, yeah, that are always in our communities. You go into
Hmm.
the community, you see like there's out here we have a lot of Mexican fast food, so we have to shout out to the brown community as well. But even within that community, it mirrors our own. It's the same thing. Like in some places it could be like the rallies or the you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And that's the thing. And when you go into different areas, you see a lot more healthier options. You see a lot more healthier places to shop for groceries. So this is for the
Speaking
parents.
on it, staying right there real quick.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah,
let,
yeah.
let me ask you this question. What do you say to people who use exactly that as an excuse not to go to a more healthier diet, that that it costs
Man, that's a good
too
question.
much?
Yep. Good question. So, let me say this first. This is also, we like to talk about drugs and drug addiction, but fast food is highly addictive. You know,
Mhm.
so let's bring that to the forefront. So a lot of our psychological habits are based on the fact that the food is proven to be addictive. Any case study will show you that. McDonald's even has a patent on their own potato, something organic that is supposed to grow from the earth. McDonald's has a patent on their version of that. So that's the GMO side of things. So the result is highly addictive, toxic food. Now, let's go into the area of what we can choose and what we do. A lot of it is based on convenience. A lot of us know the typical story, like, the parents work, multiple jobs or one job where they're gone most of the day. They're not really having time to even think about, what are we going to prepare as far as meals and stuff for the week, because you're thinking about, a lot of times survival first in some ways for some people. So that takes a backseat, and then what ends up happening is food is just an afterthought or something to kind of maintain your energy. Shout out to my people in the fitness field that really do this out of passion and love, because you start to understand food is nutrition. You start understanding the difference between us kind of like binge eating because we feel like we don't eat under a regular schedule a lot of times because of our lifestyles. It's so many different things, but when it comes to people making an excuse for as far as not having options around where they are, the intention is, if you want better, you will do whatever possible to choose better, because that's adding to you as a person. That's how you want to think.
Mhm.
But most people just kind of choose what they want out of convenience, and then they kind of say, well, this is all I know, or this is all that's convenient to me, and then I'm stuck in this cycle and I never see change.
So
So
you,
They lack on
that's my
time
opinion on
management.
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they lack on time management.
You
Yeah.
know?
So basically, you have the mindset that um, that our poor choices. How can we rectify these poor choices? It's not you. So you're saying that it's not financial. That it's not because the food costs us too much. I mean, because considering that we're the most underserved group, and we're pretty much poverty ridden. Us black folks and brown folks. How do we make better choices as far as food that costs? Financially. Like how do we make better choices? Because
I would say this.
we can exercise,
I
but
would
if
say
I ain't got
this,
good
and
nutrition.
once again, I want to say, yeah, this is some good. You got some amazing questions, brother. I really respect that.
Hmm.
Um, I think the first thing is to just like be aware that you want to change. A lot of people would choose better. Hold on, am I still here with you
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
guys?
see
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Yeah.
We hear you.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, got it. So, a lot of us, once we become aware that we want to kind of change our habits, we get overwhelmed so much by two things. The first thing is the process of the change, right? And then the second thing is we really don't have a support system to kind of encourage that change. Because a
Yes.
lot of times, if we say, okay, everyone's eating that, like even within the home, and I say, okay, I'm going to start eating this, the first thing a lot of times within our homes we get is kind of this kind of like, um, I'm not gonna say disrespect, but you feel like you're kind of being singled out. Oh, why are you doing that differently? Why are you doing that?
Hmm.
And if you stick to it long enough, you start feeling this burden of, okay, not everyone is encouraging me. A lot of times people are not encouraging even healthy habits because they feel like it makes them feel guilty of, not being as healthy as they could. So, in some ways it might be negative. On the positive side, lack of resources sometimes, where you feel like, once again, if you work like a demanding job and you feel like you're not able to even have time to make a meal for yourself, which is a majority of people. The majority of people don't think that even eating a healthy breakfast is mandatory before they start their day. They're just thinking about what they have to do or what they have to handle. So time management is another thing.
Hmm.
But we spend so much time on other things, that you have to put it in perspective, and what is the priority, which is life at the end of the day, where we see so much of, like, you know ill health and things of that nature. you know
Okay, so I have a question. What does a good breakfast look like?
What does a good breakfast look like? It does not look like McDonald's, is for sure. You know what I'm saying? Even though they have some fire coffee. But with that said, like, let me even say that. Have you noticed the targeting of the black community by McDonald's, specifically in these ads? Right?
Yes, I have.
People
What you talking about specifically though?
like, the I'm loving it ads. They even, I mean, think about this here, right? If we wanted, and they'll never do this, they'll never rank the fast food industries by the amount of, I mean, someone should probably do that study by the amount of literal deaths that correlate to eating mostly McDonald's, Jack in the Box, and who knows what else. They'll
Oh,
never do that. That'll never come out.
Jesus. Oh yeah, that
You understand?
man.
So
Don't name
with
it
that,
COVID.
That'd be a
yes.
scandal of all scandals, man.
Oh my God! Someone said COVID. Let's look at this. Understand me. Fast food has killed more people than COVID-19 ever will or ever has.
I know that's
Understand?
why I said they would label it
Yes.
COVID. That was my point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
was
the
my
real
point.
COVID.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're
I
right.
want to get back into that. I want to get back into that because
Mm-hmm.
on one end you have restaurants like these being open 24 hours, right? In our communities, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, you have these advertisers marketing TV ads, things of that nature, being targeted directly to us with, you notice in these fast food ads, the people that are enjoying these burgers and fries never really look like the actual people who eat most of these diets. They're not representative of the obesity that it really looks like.
Mm-hmm.
They have healthy young people, a lot of times black or brown, eating this fast food, but you don't really look like that when you eat a mostly fast food diet, right? So that's
Right.
that one level of how they kind of get into it, where they're not showing us who they really are. You understand? But yeah, what a good breakfast looks like is nutrition, grains. I'm not gonna break it down to the science side because most people say, what are you talking about? That also turns people off when you start talking about healthier eating. What is this I have to understand with this protein? So unless you're trying to get buff or your guy is just in the gym working on a sports specific thing, you're not really looking at food as nutrition, right? Most people ignore the side of the box that even has the nutrition facts. It tells you right there, serving size, sugar, and things like that. So that would be the first step. Looking at the nutrition facts on your food, just understanding what you're putting in your bodies and why. You have to address that because it's just like we put gas in our cars every day. If the car's on E, it needs gas to work, right? But
Mm-hmm.
we will grab anything to kind of stuff into our kind of mouths to kind of get by, and that we have to think differently when it comes to that, right? So
Speaking of
nutrition meaning oats. Sorry, I'm getting long, but I want
no,
to
you good.
answer exactly what you said. So we're talking about oats with fruit, a banana. We're talking about fibrous bread. Fibers meaning fiber in the bread, dark whole wheat bread. You want to kind of choose breads that are not overly processed. Everything is processed to a degree here, so you want to just use your best judgment and try to get the most nutrition in the morning, because the whole purpose of breakfast is when you're asleep, your body's recovering, repairing. So the first opportunity for food or nutrition is to give it the most healthiest food possible at that point of the day to kind of start your day off right, as far as like your body and your health and immunity and things like that. So yeah,
But that
that's what I would say to that.
but that doesn't necessarily include eggs, sausage, bacon, hash browns.
Not
and
for
stuff like that.
everyone.
Oh,
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, because I want to be clear. It's okay to enjoy what you enjoy, but once you kind of have the knowledge behind food, and this is not anything that you have to take too long to figure out, you can enjoy a variety of things, but you just know you're always going to choose the healthier version. For some people, there's the plant-based crowd, which I'm a part of, that, the vegan, vegetarian kind of side of things. Then there's the people that kind of say, okay, we're the keto people. And I mean, look, there is no one size fits all approach. I feel like a sustainable eating habit is better than these diets that become popular. So you want to really do your research on what's best for you, health wise. Let's make it more urgent to kind of check on our health. A lot of us do, but a lot of us don't, and a lot of us don't really have these conversations with our group of friends. A lot of times it's like when something happens is when it gets kind of discussed, not in the preventative sense. So a lot of things when it comes to that. But for everyone, it's different. However, with air fryers, there's a lot of ways to make it interesting. But also, don't act like we're allergic to fruit, vegetables, apples and oranges, things like this, because sugar is not bad. It's just the synthetic sugar, the natural sugars from fruits, vegetables, and salty things and things of that nature is not bad. You just have to choose a healthier option, not out of convenience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question I was gonna ask. It slipped my mind though.
Well, I do have a question.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to know what is your opinion on the mental health in the black
Oh my
community,
gosh, and
and
thank you for bringing that up.
do you think that our poor eating habits have a lot to do with our poor mental health?
That was a good question.
I do believe there's a correlation. I one of my personal clients manages nutrition clinics, and just to be clear, these are nutrition clinics for the very very obese, right? People who have like a mental problem with eating. These are people who are very sedentary. That's the word they use to describe you. My people, I want you to understand this, right? Just like you want to understand what the labels mean, we want to see what we're classified as to become aware as well, because I think it's a big waste of our freedom if we just allow, society to a certain degree to define us, to categorize us, and we're just feeding into kind of like what is put in front of us. You need to examine everything and don't live a life where you're just kind of following what, let's say, even the government, because you can't just say the government is all bad, because there's positive and negative influences, because we have a lot more variety now than ever before. But yeah, remind me of that question. I'm sorry, I wanted to bring. Oh, mental health. Yes.
Yeah, mental health.
So mental health. It's been proven that a lot of these food dyes and things of that nature directly correlate to ADHD in the Black and Hispanic community. And if you think about it, I don't want to. I mean, Kool-Aid. Let's see, all the sugar-based. It's either sugar or soda, and that's pretty much like a chemical cocktail right there. So if even Sunny D.
What do all that sugar do to you mentally?
I was having this conversation with a client of mine, and she essentially told me a lot of times in these underserved communities, they misdiagnose kids with ADHD. They kind of single them out because for some reason they're not learning at the same pace. I believe, and we're discussing it, that there's a direct correlation between the sugar intake, which a lot of times is high in these communities, the lack of water and even vegetables and fruits and things of this nature. It directly correlates to the behavior issues that a lot of children experience, because a lot of times their parents are not feeding them the most healthy food, or even feeding them food at all. Right. Food meaning food that is natural, some want to say organic, versus overly processed and minimal nutrition. So yes, I do believe that there's a correlation, and even in adulthood, like us that are grown, we start to realize there's a point where we believe this myth that our metabolism slows down, which is another crutch or excuse people use to say, well, whether I eat healthy or not, this is just how I'm going to look. I've kind of like, I'm okay with just what happened, and we accept that. And that to me is like a slow death. Let's be clear. We choose that as well. A lot of us too,
It's sad. It's totally unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I'm glad you out there. You're doing a good fight. Fight for health. Because it's what is the statistic? I think it's 80%.
Yeah, man.
80% in our community, dude. I mean, that's scary.
Like, listen, we have to know, we have self-determination in the sense that we can't just continue to accept. I mean, we're revolutionary and other people, it's a great time right now. But we also have to say, you can't feed and fuel a revolution on junk.
Being unhealthy.
It's just being real.
So I have a question when you finish.
Yeah.
So we all know that time management, because in our community we have to work really hard, right? It's a lot of single parent homes, or even like 2-parent homes. Mom and dad have to work. So what is the suggestion that you have to that to us who are busy, who want to cook more? Do you have any tips that You know, because I
Yes,
always
yes. I
suggest like
mean,
crock pots.
yes.
Like I'm like a crock pot mom. Like, hey, I'm gone. This the meal for
Yeah.
the day. Let's go. Dinner home. You know,
I
what
want I
suggestions do
want
you
to
have?
say this, and that's a very, very amazing question. It's very valid too. I mean, this is what I have to say. I've been doing fitness in different communities, and one thing I will say about, like, let's say the more upper kind of class communities, the more like nicer areas, is they view nutrition and health as a edge, as a mental edge, and a way to kind of allow them to compete at the highest level, meaning being the most efficient person.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at that type of thing, fitness, nutrition, as optimizing their body so they can be more productive, which really means get more wealthy and things like this. So you'll see that a lot of the business owners that own the companies in the urban communities that are making money off, let's say, the Popeyes, the McDonald's, and don't get me wrong, franchising a fast food restaurant is a great business opportunity. Don't misunderstand me. But I'm saying you'll see that the people that own these very places are more focused on health than anyone else, because good health prolongs their ability to kind of become wealthy on the investment side. So we can look at food as an investment. I think it's mental. We don't understand it and are aware of our power, for one, because we are the most powerful consumer base. And then on the second thing, we don't understand our power to change ourselves. So when you have that mindset and it comes down to time management, whatever is important to you or you feel like you're pursuing, you're going to devote time and energy towards it. I think you need to devote just as much or double to yourself first, right? A lot
Mm-hmm.
of us are running away from ourselves in the pursuit of something else, but we have to kind of invest in ourselves first, whether that be knowledge, nutrition, things of that nature. So I feel like if you have the mindset that comes from that, you will look at your weight, because don't ever believe that you are out of control in your own life. At any point, you can take or control of your life and not allow events and your routine to kind of dictate how you live. So it's just making room for priorities and looking at your time that way as far as investments. And that way, you'll start moving on the path to, just growth and better health and in other areas too. So that's what I believe. You prioritize it when you look at it as the most important thing first.
Thanks.
Okay, I got one more question before I let you go. What do you suggest is what would you suggest for a workout routine? Like how many days a week and how long it should be and
Okay,
stuff
we're
like that.
gonna go with the easy questions. Okay. So with that said, um, you know, generally being active on a base level means just walking around our neighborhoods daily. You should schedule this time, use it as a time for, let's say it's a mental health break time where you, your spouse, or your roommates go for a walk, just clear your mind, do something active. Look for areas within your communities where hikes are accessible. Even the playground. You can technically walk anywhere, and if you got AirPods, you good. You don't have to worry about anyone else. This time to be active. It's your body. It's how you kind of gain an edge as well, because sometimes the frustrations of life, if we're in one spot, we feel overwhelmed. But if we start moving around, be active, our brain, is able to kind of function a little bit more, help us solve problems. So that and hydration is something you can practice daily, no matter what. As far as fitness routine, everyone's goal is different and everyone's abilities are different. But on a basic level, being active around your community is a start. Now, as we get up into the gym territory, what gym is best for me? I would say the most affordable gym for you is the best gym for you. Whatever you can budget, no matter what, before anything else comes first, you have to make sure you have a fitness program that you're subscribing to. And fitness is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Like, let's be real. I think Apple Fitness is either $4.99 a month or something another for the year for the subscription. So with technology, you can utilize that if you feel like you're in an area where being outside is not accessible to you or it's not the best thing. So yeah, and then we would go to the gyms and examine and see, are they offering what's best for you? Are they giving you classes? Some of us don't even have time to go in and follow a routine from a trainer. But if you join a class, it's 30 to 45 minutes. You have a different time that kind of you can do it after work, or before work, just make sure that is a part of your weekly routine as well. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, I thank you so much. You have given a plethora and wealth of information today.
Right. Thank you.
And I really
Appreciate
appreciate it.
it.
This was a wonderful interview. And of course, we would love to have you back in the future.
Yeah, anytime.
Yes.
Just want to plug. If you're interested in more content things like this, go to at YorkFit on IG. I feel like a lot of fitness professionals in the world are lying to the people. You know, we all want to kind of maximize our potential and everything like that, but that does not mean you have to align yourself with a lot of these supplement companies that you know or you don't know if they're promoting a good product or a healthy product. You know, at the end of the day, we're kind of selling longevity and health, not products, pills, and shakes and things of that nature. So, let's be transparent. So, with that said, if you like this content, follow at YorkFit. Keep supporting this platform as well. We have the power to change. We have the power to make Coca-Cola 10 million less richer because they keep making this drink that is kind of adding to our diabetes levels and things of this nature for the people that don't have the power to control their addictions to this stuff that's available over the counter. So with that said, keep researching. Don't just kind of accept what's given to you, because at the end of the day, you're buying into something that's making someone who wants to be around a lot longer than you are very, very wealthy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
man.
you so much. I
Thank
was
you.
going to ask you to plug all your stuff, but you did.
Yeah, at York Fit.
You are
It's the
on
summer
it.
York Fit. If you're in Cali, just follow me. I'm in OC. We got a full program for everyone. With that said, this is important. I'm working on an online platform that will give me the ability to manage and offer nutrition advice and also fitness advice to people across the globe, even if you're not within my region or my territory. So, still working on that, because at the end of the day, it's about who we can reach. This message is powerful. I think for our people, it's as powerful as anything else. Our health and nutrition needs to be talked about. We all have people in our families that have died way too early. You
Yes.
know, that
Absolutely.
that is a pandemic. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need to stop saying these common words like cancer and diabetes. Someone needs to start asking, what is the common thread with all of this? It's how
Yeah,
they
where it come
ate.
from.
How they eat.
You know?
Yeah. Fact.
Come on.
That's so
Like,
true.
single mothers, a lot of us can relate to that. A lot of times you don't have time to kind of provide the proper nutrition for your child. That is as important as you putting him in the best school or her. Make sure they have the best nutrition at home. So when they're out there, they're not going to just kind of give or take what's given to them, or they'll have a mind where they'll kind of ask and even teach their group of people. And it all starts with how we raise our kids. And a lot of times that's where it begins for all of us.
Yes.
So
So true.
yeah.
But
And
but
shout out
that,
to the families too. Don't get me wrong. For
right.
those families, you have two parents, you have support, you have a way to kind of plan, you have a way to support each other. I'm coming from a place where we want to see, even the fathers watching the kids while the moms are able to go work out and so on and so forth. Help with planning meals in the kitchen. Don't just kind of say, oh, well, she handles that, and or this is the only thing. Like, come on, I'm a
Right.
parent too. Shout out to the thank you guys. Whenever you need, I will be back. It's a big umbrella of issues that affect our community. And when we all address them together, we raise awareness, and we can become stronger and influence change.
Oh man, thanks a
Well,
lot,
thank you.
man.
Thank you. Thanks for representing for the intelligent brothers out here. We appreciate that.
And we on the west side. And we on the west side.
All right, and we're going to check you later.
All right. Thank you.
All
You
right,
go.
next time.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. We're going to go to break, and we'll be back with what we've been talking about, or what you've been waiting on. That was a wonderful interview. We thank him for coming on. We're going to be talking about Are Women Delusional? So please stay tuned. We're going to take a little brief break, about 4 minutes, and we will be
I just
back.
think that at the end of the day, you have to first, before you submit to somebody, you have to believe in them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of people pair up with partners and they don't believe in them.
Very, very, very interesting about Sha'Carri. Sha'Carri is unapologetically her. After all of this press, she's been getting a lot of negative press about who she is. Oh, she got a long weave, she got long nails, she got tattoos. People want to call her a man, people want to call her a rat. It's so much controversy here when, I ain't never read in track that you couldn't have long nails, and a lot of the women she was running against, black as well, had nails. They might have not been as long as hers.
It's only ever been like maybe 2 or 3 people that I cared about that enough to like, if they cheat, I'm hurt. But the rest of them, like, I play the role, and then nigga, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't care that much about a lot of people.
Nigga, real talk though. Listen, this is real talk. I only had 2 people that I could say, that I found out some shit, and that shit hurt me to my soul.
And with those 2 or 3, if they would have chose to have an open relationship with me, we'd have been better off.
I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm tired of the people who live these social media ass lifestyles when it's people who know the real you. What y'all should do when y'all be on some bullshit is stop just following people who know your real lifestyle, especially the people who could give a fuck less what you do or don't do. But don't put no shit on social media where people who know what you do can like be like, this week.
I came out here, I kind of wanted to be under the radar. My husband is home, so being messy or even the slight appearance of it is risky. So I just figured I'd come outside and, kind of be incognito, if that's even possible around here, but we'll pretend it is.
Like, some of y'all women get with men because you think they got a couple dollars and they not spending shit on you.
Yeah, that's
or
crazy.
Or fat ass kids. Stop trying to find a man to be a baby daddy for your kids. That's not their kids. Y'all can't be trying to date these men and be thinking they supposed to do for your kids. That's not their responsibility, especially when y'all dating. Where the fuck is the daddy?
Or let's normalize stop having kids with everybody.
Yeah, just anybody.
What is that shit about? Y'all be out here having a whole kennel of kids.
Yeah, fooling. Look, math fit teach math and exercises. Just ask Miss Dana, she'll simplify it. It's interactive, fun, and engaging. Everybody welcome, all kinds of ages. You ain't even got to be in the classroom. Just zoom online and hop on the YouTube. So get your pen and pad, be ready to learn. And don't forget your gym shoes, we got cows to burn. Math fit, come on. Math fit, everybody, come on. You got a lesson to learn. Get ready, now it's your turn. With math fit, math fit. Hey. Where we work out and divide, add and subtract, multiply, and math it. Come on, math it. Everybody, come on. You got a lesson to learn. Get ready, now it's your turn. With math it, bust some more. Math it, understand it, bust some more. Where we work out and divide, add and subtract, multiply, and math it.
And we're back. So y'all know I have to do it. My little Michigan First spiel. Okay. If you or yourself have been a victim of their poor business practices, that's Michigan First Credit Union. Yeah, the ones that the people was siphoning money out of other people's accounts via Zelle, and you don't get your money back. And if it's overdraft, you got to pay for it. And if you don't pay for it, they will submit your stuff to creditors. You can file a complaint with DIFS. You can call them at 877-999-6442. That's 877-999-6442. Again, I want to remind you that we are introducing something new to the show, so send us your shady and scandalous stories to be addressed on air anonymously. Email them to rockyroadproductionsllc@gmail.com or go to our website, rockyroadmedia.com, and under the Contact tab, select to submit your crazy stories, and we will get to them. All right, let's get started. The question of the day: are women delusional. Now we're going to talk about this, and then I got some little stuff to correlate it, stuff on the internet I found that might be backing this up. What do y'all think? Are women delusional
in general,
yeah.
or on a specific part of life?
Okay. When it comes to relationships, I think it's most okay.
Absolutely. Most of us are delusional when we be making up shit in our head. So yeah, absolutely.
What are some of the things that you find that women are delusional when it comes to relationships from your vantage point?
Expectations.
Okay.
I feel like women have, like, because of the lack of role models, or just trauma, whatever. Like, I feel like the expectations are like at a peak level, and they expect this person to come out in this box like this, versus the person just being the person. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I feel like it wasn't making sense.
Yeah, you kind of got to be on a certain level to understand what you just said.
All right, let me reel it down. Let me drop it down a little bit then.
There you go. Yeah. Bring it down to the Negro level.
I feel like women create a man in their head that they feel like they have missed in every aspect of life. And then they get this man, and they don't allow this man to be the man that he is. They expect this man, which is unrealistic to expect this from a person. They expect this man to be all of these things that they have missed out on. And a lot of those things are things that you should be able to provide for yourself, which creates that delusion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And what I'm talking about in regards to providing for yourself is just like
an orgasm? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, yes, you should definitely self-support before you go digging and doggling. You should definitely know what you need. Some people need a little guidance. You feel me? But no, like, self-love is a thing. You know, in order to identifying what love is, what type of love you need, what type of commitment and attention you need, because it's a person-to-person thing for relationships. It's not a across-the-board standard. What work for y'all don't work for me necessarily.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you should know that, versus taking your relationship and my relationship and their relationship and then making up a man.
Yes. See, and you know, I was in the comment section some time ago, and I was having a conversation with my sister's friend, and they was, you know, on this whole little, you know, rant, cheering each other on, you know, I'm not gonna press monogamy on my children and this, that, and the third, and then, you know, and I felt a certain type of way about that immediately, because it's like, well, what you're doing is you're offering your children up to the streets to learn their lesson through the streets, right? You're promoting promiscuity and eventual trauma, because I'm sure you women have been in multiple relationships, and a number of them you could have just not had, period, ever.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you get into another relationship with those bad relationships, you know, you get into another relationship, you bring all of that trauma over to these relationships, and it takes the man, it takes extra time, extra patience, extra whatever, in order for him to prove himself or to mitigate whatever issues that you got going on from the trauma that you received from your previous relationship.
You believe what you see.
Right. So, you know, exactly. You know, so you have to, it's layers. You got to peel back all these goddamn layers. You know what I mean? And these layers come from all of the shit that these men had did that you were with previously. You know what I mean? So
I got a question about you said they said that they aren't going to promote monogamy.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
I know you.
Go ahead.
So I personally, as a mom, am not going to promote relationshiping right off the bat. I don't think as a teenager you need to be so invested in another person while you should be investing in yourself. So I am not promoting monogamy, but I don't think that you need to be in a relationship necessarily. Like, this person should not be your boyfriend or your girlfriend at 16 to 20.
Okay.
Like, dating does not involve sex all the time.
Right.
You know, that's your choice at some point. But it's a form of exploration. It gives you some time to deal with people and figure out what makes you comfortable and what makes you uncomfortable versus being like, this is my boyfriend, he did this and I hate it, let's break up. Then 3 weeks later, the next boy, because I mean, we've all been young, they're interested, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm no longer with you, now I'm with you, you do something I hate, and that creates all that trauma that you're speaking of. So instead of like fully committing to somebody and spending all this time with somebody, instead of transitioning to being an adult and figuring out yourself and things that you like, I definitely think that commitment thing shouldn't be a thing. I don't.
Well, from what I understand, for one, women constantly keep saying this discover myself type deal. Like, you know, like that's not going to come. It's going to come. You don't have to force to trying to figure out yourself, you know, but, or some type of set aside, okay, well, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. I think what they were saying, to go back to the comment, in the comment section, what she was saying about her daughters is that she was not going to promote monogamy and like being with one guy. You know what I mean? Just do
whatever floats your boat.
Right. You know what I mean? Just kind of go ahead and ride a cockpit carousel. You know what I mean? I guess. I mean, that's the only thing that's really going to come out of it, you know.
Facts.
Is that you're just going to have a whole lot of experience with penises. Right. You know what I'm saying? So in different sizes, shapes, and shit like that. But the delusion that I seen in that is that, how do you think that's, first of all, that's already being done. Okay. Women do not have any, from what I can see, especially in the black community, it's not a lot of promotion of unity. It's a lot of promotion of individualism.
Yes.
Individualism. You know what I mean? Girl, you live your best life. You only got one, YOLO, all these things promotes a singular mindset, especially in the dating world, you know, where now it's just selfish. You're just so about yourself. You're not thinking about the community or about the future or that person, hell, that you even with, that guy. Most women ain't even thinking about that. You know what I mean? I've learned so much stuff now. Like, I heard this thing that is called, I forget what the actual name of it. I can give you the description, but some women will actually call men specifically for one reason, and that's just to eat. And I think they call it dinner and dash and dine or some shit like that. Dinner and dash. That's what it is. Dinner and dash. And it's a thing.
Yeah, the common saying is you need 3 men to make one.
That's insane.
Yeah, I remember Steve Harvey came out, and you know what? To combat what you just said, there was a meme on here that says, "Once I paid a tab at the restaurant, go ahead and start getting horny, boo." Now that's is ignorant.
That's dinner and ass.
That's dinner and ass.
That's ignorant. So basically, y'all thinking y'all about to just get some food and dash. She's saying if he paying for it, you gonna come up off that ass.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
You drop them drawers.
Yes.
Okay. So I have a question.
Drawers, baby.
I have a question about that because we was having a conversation at my house and something similar happened to somebody.
Okay.
And the lady asked, he wanted to take her out, asked her what restaurant she wanted to go to. She told him it was, a $3 sign, $4 sign restaurant. And she left. He didn't pick her up. They met there. So it wasn't like he picked her up and they met there and she left. And he was upset that she didn't want to finish the night out with him. I think he had expectations.
Yes.
And I think that's where he got let down because that wasn't a part of the deal necessarily. Just because you feed me doesn't mean I have to fuck you.
But I think...
Well, then don't go. Because that is going to be every man's expectation.
But taking me on a date should not automatically indicate that I'm going to fuck you. Because I don't even know if I'm interested in you or not. What if on this date I realize... How do I know that I'm not interested in you? What are we supposed to Netflix and chill?
We haven't had phone conversations?
Going on a date should be
man, what?
Yeah, we should go on a date.
This is the reason why.
And if you didn't want to take me to a $3, $4 sign restaurant, you should have said, "Hey, love, are you free this day at this time to go here?" Instead of asking me where I wanted to go.
Okay, is there an expectation that he pays?
You asked me out, yeah. If I asked you out, then I pay.
All right, so that's the expectation.
You asked me to come.
Right. So that's we haven't discussed that. But that is your expectation is for me to pay.
Right, and if you say,
only thing I ask you is,
if you say no, you're paying when I get there, then guess what? I'm pulling out some money. But if you asking me for some ass afterwards, and I say no, what's the difference?
Because the
Okay, so
expectation,
he
you just
asked
said
her for
expectation.
some ass. Because okay,
Or I'm just saying, spending more time. Whatever the expectation was, you wanted the date to continue when she wasn't interested. Why you mad?
Yeah.
okay, so
Because I spent my money.
everything is about.
What you mean, and that's all, that
That was a game that you played.
No,
No.
But
This-
listen,
see,
supposed to spend time.
this is where we get things fucked up in the black community. Is that we feel as though that for whatever reason that a man's money is just expendable.
I don't think
That's a part of me. That's a part of my. That's a part of what I. That's taking money from other things that I could be doing. I could be doing a ton of different
But
things.
that's
opposed to
offered,
spending my damn
though.
time.
No,
you
but
offered the dinner.
Yeah, because I'm interested in you.
Right, and I'm not anymore.
Okay, well, you know
So I'm
what?
supposed to give you some money?
But
Here
that's
go a bill.
That's
Here
where
go
the
a bill on the
delusion
tab.
comes in.
No, wait.
Because that's delusional.
No, this is confusing because if the girl, okay, so from my vantage point, if this was me, okay, we're going to go out to dinner and we're going to spend the day together, whatever after dinner that is. So if that's movies, if that's going wherever, I don't know. Because I expect it not just be dinner and dash. I think
it should definitely be something more than dinner if you are interested.
But on the same token, if I'm not interested, especially at this age, now when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I would do dumb shit. I would hang out because I ain't got shit to do.
Okay, so are we saying that you can have phone conversations and be interested in somebody and then hang out with the person and then not be interested anymore? Are we saying that that's the thing? Because I think that you can talk to somebody.
Can you not be interested?
I think you can talk
that
to
can
somebody
happen.
all day. Then you meet, like we go out and hang out and then just be like, this is what...
Right.
That can happen.
But as an adult, we're talking about, and I'm sure that these people aren't children. Okay, I'm talking about adults.
I don't know how they. I really don't know who they are. It was just a story.
I can't. My point. I was trying to get to my point was the fact that, especially how you feel about things. If she's putting out the first date, now you probably looking at her loose anyway. So what are we really doing? Like, are we supposed to? I mean, because it seems like the rules keep changing. Me, more than likely. I'm not putting out on the first date. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to give you no ridiculous restaurant because, I mean, I'm used to shit. I was growing up used to shit. So it's cool. We just going out to kick it. And to me, honestly,
I want to go somewhere that I want to go, though. I'm not going to find the most expensive restaurant that I've never been to.
Right, I could do that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, oh, he paying, so let's go to...
So that's basically you
Joe
being...
Muir.
Right. That's basically you being... responsible. You know what I mean? And that's so I'm saying all this to get it right back around to this. Dude, just don't go. If you do not want the lines to get blurred with what this may mean, this date, this 4-star date, don't go.
So everybody you dating, you fucking?
No, the expectations is very high. If I'm taking you to $100 a plate place, trust me. I want something for my investment.
Well,
so say that though. Say it.
But why wouldn't nobody know that? Everybody
because I don't think
that.
because you're technically telling me you're paying me to fuck me.
I mean, but that's pretty much the beginning of relationships.
No, but this isn't the beginning of actual like boyfriend girlfriend relationship. We're dating.
Yeah, we're dating, right? Which in the
and I can decide at this restaurant
in the beginning
if I don't
of a
like
relationship.
It or not. I've done that before.
In the beginning of a
5-star restaurant, but I've definitely been on a date and was like, you know what?
You seem like that type though.
Shit.
So I can see that.
All that nigga could say was, "Damn, you cute."
Well, he whack as hell for that. He ain't got no game. So I get you on that.
He wasn't deep enough.
But what I'm saying is that I damn near lost my train of thought. Shit. Because that's so you. That is so you.
You know what I would do though if I chose a restaurant that I felt like this is what you were expecting? Because let's be real, those expectations come out in innuendos. You feel me?
It do.
I slide you a $150 and be like, You have a great evening.
There you go. And I like that.
You have a great evening.
That's good.
Yeah,
I already know you about to downplay me with your homeboys. I'm
Right.
This bitch done made me come out. I ain't make you do shit. You asked me what I wanted to do.
And I like that. Y'all hear that, women? So if it's a guy that you do not want to be, that you don't think that you're going to be with
that's
sexually,
me paying you to not call me tomorrow.
man, you better go ahead and come up with that 50%, baby.
So listen, we have ran out of time. That interview went longer than we expected. It was a great one, however, but it did go longer than we expected. So we're going to talk about this next time because we have a lot to talk about, and I've got a lot of things that I found on the internet for us to address.
I can see us going in on this.
So we're going to go in next time.
This the warm up.
Yes, this is the warm up. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't be mad at us. Check us out. Check us out at RockyRoadMedia.com and give us suggestions of what you want us to talk about. We'll see you next time. RockyRoadMedia.com.